All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the workshop part of the How to Set Yourself Up for Success. Just one of our series in December that we're just trying to make sure before 2019 starts that we are on the right track and we have at least a good mental capacity to bring about a stress-free, successful momentum in the beginning of 2019 so that we can all reach those fun goals we have. So tonight, we're going to do and look at a few things a little more deeply that we talked about on Monday. And some things that I totally forgot to even mention, was obviously we want to set ourselves up for success with our health too. And some easy ways to do that are obviously water. I forget to drink water all day long unless I have a bottle. Like if there's a bottle that I'm like refilling specifically, I drink better, I know for me, out of a straw. So if I've got a big cup with a straw, I'm always going to do that better. So know what works for you. If you find like a really cool bottle, someone answer Mary Catherine. She's asking about a Zoom number or something. Make sure that you're setting yourself up in the morning for success. We know our body needs water. We know that it needs a lot of it. So if we're not drinking it good, we're going to feel pretty crappy. So set ourselves up for success. Help our customers and our ambassadors set themselves up. Let them know, look, it's tough to drink a lot of water, but here's what works for me. Make sure that if you don't have a big cup or a big bottle that you can refill, get one, because that's the easiest way to do it. Know that you have to drink 2 of these or 3 of these a day and you're golden. The second thing is this happens to me all the time, y'all, because I have a subscription that runs, but I also have it set to conditional because we order randomly throughout the month too, is that I will find myself running out of a product. And y'all, one of the easiest ways that we as Plexus ambassadors and customers can set ourselves up for success in our health is to not run out of our stuff, y'all. We all, on this call right now, we all know the difference between missing it and not missing it and skipping days and being like, oh, junk, the bottle's empty. It's going to be 6 more days before I get ProBio 5. That's the problem. You know what I mean? So, make sure we're talking to our team about subscriptions. Make sure that you're taking good inventory of what you've got, because it happens more often than I'd like to admit, that I will have an empty bottle or be like, oh no, we better order. And then I'll forget to order again. So make sure that you've got your products and make sure we're helping set our team up for success by making sure their subscriptions are on and we're checking on them to make sure they've got what they need, because skipping out on stuff just sucks. Another thing that I have done at different points in my life, especially when we were doing the keto diet, is meal planning. Does anyone on this call actively meal plan weekly or have done that in the past? Raise your hand. Yes, Amanda does. I think Mary Catherine does. Jessie does such a great job of doing that too. Jess, are you in your kitchen? Yes. Can you show that meal plan chart thing that's on your... I found this at TJ Maxx. I don't remember if I gave it to your birthday or Christmas last year or something, but it's like this huge notepad that you tear off and is the coolest thing for meal planning.
There's nothing on it at the moment. Sorry.
That's okay.
But I do meal plan.
So it's like got the meal plan sections like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then at the bottom like grocery list or whatever. And it's like the grocery list tears off. That's from TJ Maxx. How cool is that? She's like the first person I've actively seen like meal plan weekly. I was like, I won't use this, but how cool is this? But yes, meal planning, obviously, when we do not set ourselves up for success with meals, we're going to grab the closest thing or the easiest thing or the fastest thing. And a lot of times for me, it's the carbiest thing, right? So set yourself up for success, set your families up for success, have things in your home. If you are going to grab something and not plan, don't buy all the stuff that you know is bad either. Like have things in your home that are easy to grab that are good. But meal planning is so good. Victoria Wooten, if you guys don't follow her on Facebook or on Instagram, she legitimately shares her full meal plan and grocery list every single week on her stories. And homegirl is like type A than type A. She gets her done and she's usually like paleo, like all the way, some kind of crazy stuff. So if you want some good recipes, follow Vicki Wooten. She does a great job. And obviously there's a lot of people on our team that share wonderful recipes and stuff too. Another thing, Vicki Wooten, yeah, she does so good. Group fitness classes, y'all. I am not a self-motivated worker outer, but if you want to set yourself up for success and want to stick to a fitness regimen of some sort, have accountability, have someone who's doing it with you, whether it's a walking partner or running partner. Joni, you got a trainer at one point and that helped you like get there. I remember you talking about that all the time. But I have been joining this just at church, like it's a group fitness class at church. And I don't want to wake up and go sometimes, but I'm like, I know there's going to be 15 other ladies there crushing it out and I'm going to look like the nerd who didn't go. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I am externally motivated by not looking like a ninny and not showing up. So it makes me feel like I need to go. So that has helped me immensely to stick with a group fitness plan. So those are some things I forgot to totally cover on Monday that are just helpful tidbits. Those are things that we can be helping our team with too. So most of you probably are doing a lot of that stuff already. But people who are joining us on this new health journey, it's because they don't have processes and systems like that set up because they haven't been able to be successful in their health so far. And these are easy things that we can be encouraging each other to do on team page and all that kind of stuff. So super excited about that. So next, if she's ready, I'm going to pass it over to Joni. Monday night, we talked a lot about also setting ourselves up for success in our home. And Joni shared a little bit about some of the chore things that they do and cleaning up every night before going to bed, because for most of us, whether or not it bothers us in the moment, having a stressful environment, having a haphazard environment or clutter everywhere, like it really does affect your psyche, whether we realize it or not in the moment. It makes us more prone to be anxious, more prone to be overwhelmed and stressed out. And so I have been trying to put some of this to practice myself because it does not come naturally to me. But Joni's going to share a little bit about what they do at their house because she's really good about creating systems so that she can wake up and start off on a good foot.
And as I come to you from my closet, because all of my children are still awake, and David is putting together my Christmas present, which, by the way, is a nugget ice machine. Like, I have Sonic Ice in my kitchen right now. I have the best husband ever. Anyway, so I ran to get this book. I think Sally gave it to me at convention maybe. So I went to get it because she was talking about like water and stuff. And so I wanted to share these two things. This was not part of what I was supposed to say. Yay. Yes. So I, about 7 weeks ago, October 22nd, I decided to start being consistent on my products again and being consistent on my products, doing my Bible reading plan, and drinking more water. So I have a weekly report card that I fill out every night before I go to bed. And I just like to see it on paper so that I can rate myself. And so there's been times where, I failed here. So I wrote fail. I know that's not the positive outlook that Sally texted me today, but that's okay. That was week 2 and I'm on week 7 now. My main goal is to stay consistent on my products, and I need the accountability, and I am pretty bad accountability partner, so it's just me and my book, and that works for me. However, there is another little trick that I've learned. I have this wonderful Chick-fil-A 24-ounce tumbler that I use, but I also keep an app. It's called My Water. And every time I drink water, I just push the button of how many ounces and it totals it up. And so at the end of the day, it pops up and tells me you had 96 of your 100 ounces or whatever. Anyway, that was just a small little note. I think what Sally was wanting me to actually talk about was my chore chart. It's not fancy. You probably can't see it well, but it's color coded and it has everything on it that I need. So it has laundry. I try to do 1 load every other day.
Can you put that close?
Sorry. So this is, sorry, I can't see. Okay. So Monday, L means laundry, C means chores, and D means David. And so I try to do one load every other day, and then on the odd days, I do like sheets and bath mats and towels, and that way everything stays clean. And I do one chore a day. On Friday, I do 2. But on Wednesdays, I do the kitchen. So on Monday, if the kitchen is a mess, it'll get done on Wednesday. But also down here at the bottom is our daily before bed chores. So I'm responsible for the kids' book bags, school clothes, and put the laundry away. And David does the dishes, and he also makes sure the kitchen's not a mess. So on Wednesday, when I do the kitchen, it's not a total wreck. And he does the litter boxes every day. So that's just kind of how we don't have to spend every Saturday like totally cleaning, and I don't always have laundry because one load every other day, we have 6 people in our house. So it's a full load, but it's small enough that it can get washed, dried, folded, and put away, which used to be kind of a miracle in this house. So the only other thing that I have, sorry, I totally blanked, is the list that I did where I went into the back office. Never mind. Sally said no.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that in just a second with you. I'm going to call back on that because we're going to go hardcore into that in just a sec. But were you saying that you were going to get David to like spreadsheet that out, your chore chart, or can you like make a copy or like scan it in so we can like see what you've got written? Because obviously everyone's chores are going to be different and like people are different.
David, he just hasn't done it yet. He was supposed to do it last weekend.
No, that's fine.
So
that's fine. Even if you take a picture of it with your phone and you can drop it in the comments of the graphic, that's this. Just so people can get like, because obviously you're not going to have some of the same chores as Joni, but I think sometimes we just need a template to start off with. Like that's kind of even like with anything in our business.
I picked a room. And so like Tuesdays, I have van because from the weekend, my van is destroyed because you put 6 people in a van and it just, I don't know what happens. But on Tuesdays, after I drop the kids off from school, I go and I clean out my van and I take all of the random stuff out. So I have van, I have kitchen, bathroom, dust, and I sweep every other day. So it's really just one room because every morning I go and I make all the beds and I do all of the little things. And then every night we pick up and have a fresh start.
That is awesome. I mean, that's just so good. My car is a hot mess all the time. Like we were just talking tonight, how I have all of these little brown bags that they send home from church with all the crafts in them, and they just like collect on the floor. And randomly I'm like, there's no more places for cups. We have to throw all of these cups away, and that just makes you feel like a crazy person. So that's so good. It's just smart to think about this stuff. And so even if you totally go off the page from what Joni's got there, it's just nice to see what someone else has, to be able to tweak it and then make it more efficient for your purposes, like how it works for your guys and your family and how you're going to split it up. Something else about the home that they really talked to us hard about at Jewel Training this year was delegating. A lot of times we can pull on the mom guilt, the wife guilt, whatever, that like you have to be super mom and you have to take care of everything, right? And you don't. And just because your hands don't do it doesn't mean that it's not like good, right? And so whether or not it's having your kids do chores or sharing in things, like have a shareholder meeting with your husband, especially if you're trying to work your Plexus business and you guys have financial goals as a family, like have that shareholder meeting. Like David's always done a really great job of helping with chores and helping with the house, but like even more so, like when you guys are on the same page of like, hey, we've got goals to like keep ourselves sane and also, to be able to have time to work the business. And so, like splitting stuff up so that it's not all on your plate, because in essence, even if you stay at home, you are a working mom or person. Even if you have another job, you're in essence working 2 jobs, especially if you're going to work this business like you intend to reach big goals. Like it's more than just 30 minutes a day for sure. So give yourself that space and that grace to delegate a little bit. I'm not a good planner, therefore I don't have a housekeeper, because you have to like call somebody in order for them to come to your house, and I just forget to schedule things like that. So nobody ever comes here, and it's just usually me and Brandon. But we got a shark Roomba dude. Like, I don't know, his normal name is like an iRobot or something like that. The Shark. It's not the fanciest one out there. We got it on super sale when it was Black Friday, but y'all, it vacuums the floor, and it makes me feel like a clean, sane person when I come down and there's lines in my carpet. I literally have vacuumed my carpet on my own like 3 times since we've lived here, and like since April. We don't have the dogs inside anymore, so I feel like it's like, oh, my carpet's always clean. And then I'm like, no, it's still not clean. Like, it still has to get vacuumed. But y'all, like, when you have little kids or even big people, like the kitchen floor, there's always junk on the floor. And it just makes me feel like I don't have my junk together when there is crumbs all over the floor constantly. And so this little guy, he's just rolling around, and that is saving me so much time, but it's also saving my headspace. Like, it's worth that financial delegation, right? To have that task now delegated to a robot. I'm so very thankful for her. Or a person, a human, like having a college student or someone coming in for $15 or $30 every 2 weeks and cleaning your bathrooms only. Like, what do you hate? What is time consuming? They said, if you look at what you intend to get paid, what is your goal rank? If you're going to work that hard to reach that financial status or that amount of money that is your goal, split that up hourly, and that's what you're paying yourself to wash your dishes or clean your toilets or XYZ, okay? So if you will take that time and do something productive, even if it's playing with your kids, because you're going to do that some other time too, to open up a spot in your day to work your business better, or to have a mental capacity to have a smart mindset of working your business, right? It's all about mental health too. Then it is worth the $35 every other week to have someone come vacuum your floor, or pick one. They don't have to clean the whole house for $100, like it can be small things. Or it can be big things. Like, I was trying to mow the grass because I enjoyed it and I was listening to audiobooks, but y'all, that junk was taking like 5 hours on a Saturday or Sunday. I'm paying myself, oh my Lord, probably $700 for those 5 hours if I look at what I'm making as an Emerald Ambassador and what my time is worth. I'm paying myself that. I could be paying the guy down the street like $28 to come mow my grass. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's thinking of like, what is your time worth? What is your mental capacity worth? And what are you doing it for? Obviously, we don't just throw money out the window. If you don't have goals and you're not working for them, then yes, save the money and do it yourself. But for those of us on this call, and for those of your team members, like, we need to know this to encourage people. Like, that is an investment into your sanity, into the well-being of your household, but also into your business, so that you can reach those goals and have that freedom. So delegation is something huge that I am learning how to do, because mine is not out of like, I have to do it because I do it the best, or like, I don't care how things are folded. A lot of times they just go in the drawers unfolded. Like, that's not my thing. My thing is that I don't plan ahead well enough to delegate. Do you know what I mean? So it just is like, well, we can't fit anything else in the sink, so we should do the dishes. That kind of stuff. So that's not good either. I'm sharing a lot with you guys tonight. Oh my goodness. Okay. And then I did talk briefly about the shareholder meeting in your household. Like, y'all, the house being clean is just half of it. Like, meal planning, that's just half of it. The people in your house matter the most. So to set your families up for success, be on the same page, have conversations about what's going through your brain. Like, Brandon has to pull that junk out of me all the time, because I am a 6 and a 5 tied on the Enneagram, which means I live in here. Like, things don't come out of my mouth until I like word vomit, verbal process everything that's been stewing in here for like days and hours. And so he's a 7 and he's like, come on, honey, talk about it. What's going on in there? And you have to let it out. Like you have to have those conversations to have a healthy atmosphere in your home, because somebody can't read your mind to know that you need help. And sometimes I don't even know what I need help with. I'm just like, everything's up here and I just don't know what I can even tell you to ask for help with. Do you know what I mean? But for them to even know that you're at that place, they can step in and maybe do wrong stuff, maybe do stuff that helps, but every little bit counts, right? So have conversations, have those shareholder meetings, especially if you've got big goals. 2019 could be an amazing year for you, but you have to choose to make it so. You have to choose to put in the time, and that is going to mean sacrifice and or a team effort from your household of making sure everything gets done so your house stays healthy and everyone feels loved and appreciated and touched on during the day. At the same time, your business is thriving and you're taking care of what needs to be taken care of without feeling guilty. Okay, so that goes home. So that ekes us into 2019. I hope some of you brought some fun things to show. If not, we can just talk through a couple of things and then we'll get to the email right there at the end. But it's December. I can't believe that it is the end of 2018. Like sometimes I'm like, I've been doing this for 3 years. Holy cow, it's 2018. 2018 is almost over. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that is almost 2019. So we have 3 weeks left roughly in this month, in this year. And so we do need to be thinking ahead at what can we be doing this month. Aside from trying to meet our goals of the month, we're obviously still trying to reach out and follow up and close the deal with people to make sure that we're adding to our team this month and checking in on people, the regular stuff for sure. But it's a really great opportunity. Every single person thinks about New Year's, whether or not they're super big resolution people or not. People are always more ready to make a change or try again at the first of the year. They just are. It is crazy, but it just is how we've been conditioned in our society to think of January 1st. And so we would be remiss if we did not take an advantage here and reach out to them, because guess what? They're seeing people posting about CBD oil. They're seeing people posting about whatever else people are posting about right now. And if we don't contact them and say, hey, you know what? Have you tried some of our new products, or have you thought about this? What are your health goals for the year? I know we haven't talked in a long time, or just building that relationship, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about some lists that you can be keeping up with, going through the back office, and making sure that there are people that you can be touching on or checking on or commenting on their pictures, so that when they're ready to restart, or when they're ready to come back, or when you follow up with them for the 800th time, it's going to be you that they sign up with. It's going to be Plexus products that they try. And not only, obviously, we want that for our business, but we want that for them. Y'all, we here on this call know how well our products work. We know that it can help people with the things that they're looking for help with. And so, and in service to them, we need to do our job diligently. And I say we, because I mean I need to do this too. So that they give it a shot, and they give it a real shot, or they get even another shot, or they try new products that would work better for them than whatever they tried for 30 days the last time. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is our opportunity to make sure that when they're ready to try something, they're going to try it with us. So we're going to call on Joni again, just because I know she had some stuff prepped and ready, because we talked about this earlier. Some lists that she has been going through, because as she recommitted her business, had that shareholder meeting with David, she's been doing this for a couple of months, making sure that she's building relationships well, and also touching back base with people so that she can really be more invested in their lives and in their journey come January 1st.
Okay. So first, I want to show you, like, I've always wanted a notebook, and I finally feel like I have like everything that I ever wanted in a notebook. So, except for the binding. I'm not a fan of the binding, but you know, can't have everything in life. But it's just a normal little notebook. It has these rings Don't ever buy the ring binder. But I have tabs. So for weekly tabs, I have the high five thing that we do. For the monthly, that ambassador planning sheet. And then I have contacts. So part of it is printed. So where I printed my Facebook friends list, and then part of it is written as I added people on Facebook. I didn't want to have to keep going and printing out 400 pages. So I just wrote them in. And then I have a team page. So everybody, I have their username and passwords so that I have them all in one place. And I know that there's a sheet where you can keep like individuals. I'm not that organized. So I just have it on one paper. And then I have a notes where I make a list of posts that I want to make. And when I see someone's post and I need to take a picture for it, I like to take my pictures all when I'm like dressed and have makeup on. I have been known to like change different shirts but still be the same day and just walk around my house and do different pictures and then keep them in my phone. And when I need a picture, I'm like, oh, that was a good one. That was a good day. So that's how I do my pictures. But I started going through my back office when I knew that I wanted to start the business again. And I've let a lot of people fall through the cracks. So I went through my back office and I wrote down every ambassador and every customer. And I do not have a lengthy back office. So mine still fits on one page. Sally's, you may have to get an extra binder. But, but I also went through my 12 months of monthly activity pages from this past year. And I was able to write down all of the potentials that I was working with, because going back through Messenger just doesn't work for me. So I was able to just look back at all of the notes that I'd kept and have been able to contact them and just try to start a relationship back with them after my hiatus.
So good. And y'all, this is one way. We have most of the stuff that she just called out is on the files on our team page. So if that sounds like something you want to try and start. But did you catch when she said she was able to go back because she actually kept a record of who she was talking to? Like, that is something that I still, to this day, like, need to be better at doing. I try and use a note on my phone when I've got someone that I'm in conversation with. Like, I've got, a list on my phone. So if you're not good with pen and paper, I just am never in the same place enough to even have a notebook, or I'm like, oh, it's upstairs, or I'm thinking about it and it's totally outside of that. But for sure, take down who you're talking to. That way you can follow up. Fortune is in the follow-up, and if you don't remember who to follow up with, then we're never, taking advantage of the 5th to 12th contact for sure. So I love that. Thank you for sharing that. So some people love binders. Laura Nutt is actually on the call, and she did an incredible video for us. Laura, are you there? I know I did not prep her and tell her that I might call her, but I was like, she's here.
I'm here.
She did a great video for us on the team page, on the Business Essentials page, about Teamzy. And Laura, I know it will be like totally scraping the surface, but will you tell us just a little bit about what that's done for you and how you kind of do that on a day-to-day basis?
Sure. So I have really loved Teamzy because it actually does exactly what I was doing with notebook and paper and pen. It actually will keep up with everyone that I talk to on a regular basis. So it allows me to keep up with my customers, with my ambassadors, and then everyone that I am also conversing with online. And, it also will let you go in and see conversations that you've had. So it has a place to put notes in of what you talked to that person about, which I love. because it allows me to be able to go back and click their name, figure out what date I talked to them, what we've been talking about. And it also allows me to set up dates for reminders to follow up with them. So it's not something that I actually have to keep up with. It's actually kept up with in Team Z. So it just makes my life more organized, which goodness knows I need that.
Yes, my goodness. So another Jewel was just talking about it the other day too, and I'm like, I need to bump that video back up of Laura explaining that to our team, because I might even link it under the post for this, where Joni's going to be sharing her chore chart and all that stuff, and we can all share ideas under the post about this workshop that I posted earlier today. I'll link that video again to her YouTube, because this, for real, like for me, I'm like, oh, I'll scratch this. I'm going to scribble this on a piece of paper here, or I'm going to use my planner for a month and then never use my planner again for the rest of the year. It is just why my brain, I cannot like commit to like sticking with a system of organization, and so therefore it doesn't work. But I love that this is an opportunity for it almost to be organized for you, and like you're just like logging in, doing the work, and then stepping back, and it's working for you. That to me may seem like something I really need to dig myself into as well, because even you think about it, when I worked as a leasing agent, which is what I did before we moved to Zambia, we had a system like this where we would have people call about an apartment and, oh, let me take your information. And I'm putting it into my system on the thing. And I'm saying, when do they want to move in? And I'm putting that move-in date. And that system is telling me 2 months later, hey, you need to contact this person. They wanted to move in March. Do you know what I mean? Like, every other business has systems like this. So this is a very smart platform that not a lot of people are utilizing right now, that we really can take advantage of. If that seems like it would work well in your brain, watch Laura's video and then investigate that. I'm sure she'd be happy to answer any questions for anyone who wants to get started. It's been daunting to me because, like she like was mentioned, I have a lot of people that I will have to input for sure. But at the end of the day, it's worth it, because if you guys watch Jen Hawkins' video, you guys, a lot of you on here are my level ones. Like, you're worth it for you not to be out of sight, out of mind anymore. Like, it is worth it for me to put in the work to input 250 level ones and Brandon's level ones into there to make sure that I'm checking on people that I love, that I just don't think about all the time, because life happens, right? People are worth it. And especially prospects that they don't know they're worth it yet. We have to remember that they're worth it, and we can't keep up with everything in our brains. And especially if we're disorganized like myself, I can't keep up with everything on pen and paper, to be honest. It's just not how my brain works. So that is another great option for you to get organized before 2019 comes. You can work the next couple of weeks to input that things, to learn about that system. You have that working for you. Can you imagine what you're going to be able to accomplish in 2019 with any of these types of systems in place, and how you'll be able to work them more efficiently and switch them around and figure out what works best for you? But my problem, I know, starting off this business and how my brain works in general, is like, if I know that there's a more efficient way to do it, I don't do anything until I figure it out. That's dumb. It's like weird perfectionism, but not really perfectionism. Just like, I'm trying to work smarter, not harder, but I'm not working at all because I can't figure out the smartest way to work. Like, that is kind of silly. And so start with anything, even if it doesn't work the best that you think that it could work, or you find holes and like, well, I'd probably forget this or forget that. It's better than not having a system at all and not doing anything and not keeping up with anybody. So start somewhere, and then you can figure out the kinks and work it better for you down the road. So I love that. Yeah.
It's called Team Z.
Yeah. So TEAMZY. Yeah. And it's like online. But yes, she's got it. If you search LARA on the Business Essentials page, her post will come up with that, because she's posted a few times on the business page. And so in addition to following up with people and having lists of people that are in your virtual office that have already been on your team that we want to be touching base with and loving on and letting them know we hear from them, we're going to talk about that email in just a second. And I've got that verbiage of what mine looks like that I'm going to be sending out. We want to be following up with people we've been into conversation with. But you guys, the Goffs, if you did not watch their Dare to Dream December video yesterday, I love that they made these all like 5 minutes or less, most of them. Like, it is so simple. I've been playing them in the car, like even back and forth to church, like just so easy because they're so short and very, very helpful. But they are challenging their team to reach out to 100 new people before Christmas, or like just before the new year, like before December ends, have a list or whatever, make sure that you reach out in between now and then to start 100 new conversations, whether that's in person, making 100 new friends, meeting someone for coffee, or going through your Facebook friends list or new Instagram followers and build those relationships and start those conversations, because those are going to be the conversations that are going to carry you in January, February, March, when that convention contest is. Only usually 3 months. Is it 3 or 4 months usually? Do you guys remember the convention contest? 4. So it's usually January, February, March, and April, a convention contest, which we're going to talk about on Thursday the 27th. We're going to talk hardcore about the events for 2019 and the contests and how to use those to work your business well. But this is all set up. If we're not reaching out to enough people, starting conversations, if we're not posting well and smart right now, then we're not going to have people to filter into our business and to help when the time comes for them to sign up. So make sure we are not only following up, reaching back, but we're also reaching out to new people for 2019. So getting a list of that together to be able to do well. And then, just restarting and re-engaging with them. So last year we did something, I think it was Rachel Rogers that shared it on a Jewel page, and Abby shared with us. It was, or I guess I was a Jewel last year at this time. Yes, I've been Emerald for over a year. That's so weird. It's crazy. Basically, sending your Christmas card via email to your whole team and throwing in there bits of things to take care of. So I wish I could screen share my phone. I wonder if it's in my notes right here. Hold on, let me look and see. If it's in my notes, I can just screen share and let you see the note of it. If notes is going to cooperate. Where is it? Is it hiding? Here it is. No, it's not. Okay, that's okay. I'm going to put the verbiage, I'm going to copy it in there. So basically, I mean, would you want me to read it aloud? Is that so silly? Like, haven't read it aloud to people in a long time, but it's just a Christmas card. So, you know, people will send out a Christmas card, like update them on your family, have a great picture or 10 or whatever you want it to look like. Something that you would send in an envelope to somebody, right? Update them on what's going on with you. I said, Merry Christmas, friends. Wow, is it really the end of 2018 already? I feel like this year has absolutely flown by. Jax is 18 months old and Skylar is on the older side of 4, going on 14. Haha. The last 9 months in Augusta have been truly wonderful. While it was hard to move away from our friends and family in Snowville, God is already surrounding us with godly men and women to come alongside. Little blurb about our house. We're having so much fun in our new home, transforming it little by little and learning new skills along the way. Blah, 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 shmonish, shmonish, shmonish. So more about the house. And then next, with the new year coming, it's always a great time to reflect in gratitude and look forward with excitement and expectancy. 2018 has been full of change and growth, and I'm so excited about what 2019 will bring. Our family and our team has some amazing God-sized goals ahead of us this year, and I'd love for you to be a part of this monumental time in our business. That's not right. You are still an integral part of what God has helped us build over the last 3 years. So again, remember, this is going to your customer. So you're obviously going to tweak this to make it fit your business and how those people are in your business. So this is the part that's most important, and this is really the purpose of it. I would love for you to update me on what your hopes and expectations are for Plexus, your health, and maybe even your finances in 2019. Over the past year, we've seen some incredible additions to our product line, and the company has streamlined processes and added so many fun new incentives. Being a part of our community is more fun and rewarding now than it has possibly ever been. I mean, like, that sounds exciting, right? Like, if you're like, they're like, I haven't been paying attention. What have they done, right? I'd love to see how I can help you to have the very best experience with Plexus this coming year as I get organized for 2019. I would love to know exactly where you stand so that I can support and guide you the best that I can. These products in this business have absolutely been God's provision for us, and sharing it with you and with others has been a complete joy. So then we give them options. It's literally like a multiple choice, like, oh, Merry Christmas. This is such a wonderful email. Oh, I love the pictures. Like, bam, I can choose one of these things, and potentially you get an email back, or you can follow up with a text or a message. Hey, did you get my email? Just making sure it went through. And they say, yes, I did see it. But did you have an opportunity to look at those? I really just want to make sure that I can connect with you on your needs this year. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's okay if they don't. I don't ever check my emails. Like, I get the bubble that is in the hundreds, and I have to go back and. So there are people like me that will not read this, not because they don't want to read it, but because they just don't. So following up with it is good. So number one, I'd rather not have any further follow-ups at all, but thank you. There are going to be some people that may not really want to hear from us again. Maybe they were a cold message and not really a great acquaintance or friend, and they're just like, nah, don't email me. I kind of want to take that out, but I feel like it is an important one to have. Number two, I'd love for you to be praying about our family for blank. But at this time, don't need any info or communication about getting plugged back into the products or Plexus family. And I like that because it says at this time. It doesn't say ever, right? Like right now, maybe they're going through something. And so we want to know, hey, our family's going through this. My mom has breast cancer or something. Like, for sure, I'm not going to be bugging you about trying lean. You know what I mean? Like, how can I be praying for you? And right now, let's table this, but maybe in the future, we can come back to it. Number three, I'd love for you to follow up and help me with my current Plexus products, and I'd love to hear about new products that might help me reach my goals better in 2019. We got some people that are just kind of on and off the wagon. This might be for them, right? Option number three, maybe they are just not super consistent on their products, so they might need help figuring out what they're doing right or wrong, or maybe they just haven't reached their goals and you can tweak something with some of our new products. Number four, I'd love for you to plug me into the team pages so I can learn more about sharing with my friends and family. Plexus has changed my health, and I want to share with those I love. Extra income would be very helpful. Helping someone go silver. This is not someone who's wanting to start a business, right? It's just someone who's like, hey, I love this stuff, and extra income would be helpful. That's great to know because you can help that person go silver and do a shout out post or whatever. Number five, I added this one on myself. I have watched you build a reputable and sustainable business full of integrity. See, I'm planting those seeds. Those are true things, but we don't like, yeah, I've seen that you do pretty good at an MLM. Do you know what I mean? Like how different that feels of like, yeah, you do pretty good at one of those businesses. I'm saying, no, I've watched you build a reputable, sustainable business full of integrity, and I would like to do the same. This is to those people that are on our teams just taking our products that you know are super influential and would kill it and really are great leaders or all that stuff, and they just maybe don't realize what an opportunity is, and they just are really seeing that little by little over time. And I like to do the same. Financial freedom is something I'm ready to work for, and it looks like this is an amazing opportunity to do so. Let's chat so you can fill me in on what that looks like. Right? So that's option number five. That's like a heavy hitter option number five. But I was like, I'm putting that in there for the love because I've got some amazing people on our team and they need to know. And everybody, hopefully, that reads that email is going to read that. And do you know what seeds that plants for them? That this is a reputable business, it's sustainable, and that it can bring financial freedom for those who are willing to work for it. Right? So even if they're not going to answer that question, hopefully that's planting the seeds that people are going to respect what we're doing more and understand the opportunity that they have in front of them for whenever their timing is right. So then I just enter it in. I end it out. I look forward to hearing from you, and as always, we'll enjoy keeping up with you and celebrating the big things in your lives no matter what. Thank you in advance for taking the time to respond, and we hope you have the merriest of Christmases and are praying God's best for your family in the new year. Picture that I made on maybe Canva or something that looks like a Christmas card, but it's just a graphic. That's it. Then I signed our names. Like basically copy and paste, but clearly we have different families and you did not move to Augusta potentially this year. So definitely want to fix some stuff. But, don't shy away from the options. Like I said, I did not want to put option number one in there because I don't want people to tell me never to contact them again, right? Because I believe this stuff works and I'm going to shake it into you until you figure it out for yourself. But we don't need to be contacting people driving them nuts. That's not what our heart is, right? So if they don't want to hear from us, great. It might take them a year. Maybe they'll come back around. Maybe they won't. That's okay. Bless and release, right? So this, I will put also the verbiage underneath, or should I upload it as a file? What do you think? What would be easier for you guys? Just in a comment underneath so you can copy and paste it into your notes or into your Word document. Does that sound good? That way everything's kind of in one place. And I'll put my picture there too, just so you can see it. Just a simple graphic. You could use Word Swag and just put Merry Christmas across something just to make it look more than just a regular picture. But I hadn't even thought about just putting 3 or 4 pictures, like one of our house or whatever you're talking about. The kids did something awesome in sports or whatnot. Put some pictures on there. That's the great thing. You're not having to mail this. It's just going through email. Another great way to just save money too, for those of you who are like, I have so many people that I want to send Christmas cards to, but like don't want to go to Snapfish or Shutterfly and spend like $100. Everything's online these days, so don't feel bad about doing that. Connecting with people and showing them that you care enough to send them something is always better than sending nothing, I feel like. Does anyone else have anything that I missed? This is like totally not full encompassing of things that you can do to set yourself up for success, but we just wanted to like give some tangible stuff that we could be sharing. And even if you're not going to use it because you have a system in place for you, different options for your team, if anything. And the conversations that I've had with different level ones is that honestly, no 2 people work or think the same, like ever. And so something that works really well for you, that's kind of like the blessing and the curse to duplication, is that we can create systems that work well for us, but they're not going to duplicate perfectly to every person on our team because people organize thoughts and things differently. And so just to hear other people's options is always a great idea, because you may have a level 1 or level 2 that's struggling in some of these areas. And you're like, I don't do this, but Joni was talking about this, or Jessie has this cool pad on her fridge. You know what I mean? Or like, Laura was talking about this amazing online thing and I like pen and paper, but you would love this. So it's just good to have those things in our mind so that we can help other people be successful in their homes too. Because that's, again, this is a huge part of our business and our heart as a team, is we just, not only do I want you to be successful and grow your paycheck and have financial freedom, like the whole blessing of this is that it can allow you to have mental freedom and sustainability in relationships in your home, and the ability to choose things that you would not have chosen for yourself before, whether that's in your home or outside of it. So these are things we can all be thinking about. If anyone has anything to add.
I'll share something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I haven't been around a lot, you guys, lately, but this is something that I created for myself I have notebook after notebook after notebook. I'll start in one notebook, I'll end up in another notebook, and it's not one that I can like tear out of. So I've got like 7 notebooks started for the same thing. And then I have 7 useless notebooks because I'm not in any of them. But what I did is I wrote down my daily to-do list and I stuck it in this like plastic cover, I guess. And so instead of having the chore chart like every day like Joni does in a book or a notebook that I'm probably not going to carry around with me, this can stay on my desk. I can check it off with a dry erase marker and start over the next day. And so when I did better about my IPA, I had one for my daily IPA, and then I had one for the daily things that I needed to do around my house. So if you like this idea but not having to keep up with a whole notebook, I like this because then I just have this next to my desk, and at the end of the day I can check off what I did or didn't do, or check what I need to accomplish.
These are so cool, Mary Catherine. Can you, like I told Jenny, can you take a picture of your list? Because again, some people like, I don't even know where to start with a list. You know what I mean? So like, that's just helpful too, to see like, hey, what's on your list? If you'll take a picture of that and drop it in the comments, and then tell us where you got those cool little page things. And in the comments too, so that someone could go look for that and purchase that if that was up there. Like that is really.
By the way, I have another one on my fridge, and I put the piece of paper in there and I wrote produce, meats, dairy, other, and I write my shopping list on it so that, and then when I go to the grocery store, I take a picture. So I have my grocery list on my phone when I go to the grocery store. So
that's cool. Yes. And order of the store.
All right, so I'll do that.
Yeah. Yes. Take pictures of that and put them in the comments. Does anybody else have anything? Oh, I did want to show y'all my command center. That was fun. We'll end on that note unless it sparks another interesting thing. Sorry, my house is not super clean, but we did have a babysitter, so I always feel really bad if it looks a hot mess and someone else is coming over. Clearly my mail thing is not keeping us a ton organized because it's just, but it's not on my counter. So that's a plus. So I have this guy. But basically I just looked on Pinterest because I wanted it to look somewhat cute. But this is my little command center dude over here. We got our shoes and bags and stuff down there. But I found these 2 calendars at Walmart. So I just have my month up here, and then this is the week. And so I can kind of detail out like my to-do list, or like need to go to the store, or Skylar's got something, or Brandon's going to be having meetings or something. I just can allow me to write more stuff because I am super visual, and also how my brain works, like I have to know what to expect in order to handle situations well. I'm finding that out about myself. And so if I am visual and I can keep looking at that, then I know what to expect when Thursday comes because I've been looking at it for, 3 or 4 days. So this helps me being a visual person and someone who needs to have things written down or I forget them. And then on this side, it just has notes, which you could put obviously anything there. I use that for like things. Now it's not my whole calendar is December, but if someone's like, hey, on January 13th, can you do this? And I'm like, I'm never going to remember this, and I'm never going to look at the calendar in my phone. So I'm going to write it on the side over here. So when I redo my January calendar, I'll put it in there. But that has been something that really helped me and Brandon to kind of be on the same page. And we weren't like, oh no, I was going to go do this, or you can't go do that. I have a meeting right now. Like that happens like very infrequently now because we have the schedule visible and we can do that. So, well, I love you guys. How long did we go? Just an hour, no big deal. You guys are rock stars for being on tonight, these workshops. I'm really excited about next week's Rank Up Roadmap, going through the ranks on Monday night. So make sure your new people or people that are babies in this business, or we've got some golds and senior golds that may not even know how to go, or what it takes to go Ruby or senior Ruby yet. So we're going to go through the ranks, figure out what it takes. And then Thursday at 9, we're going to do another workshop for goal setting and that kind of stuff. So I love you guys. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll talk to you soon.